Hello, and welcome to this taste challenge. Hello, and welcome to this Dawn Busters taste challenge. I'm slipping. All right. It's very, well, clear. The sky is clear, and I see the sun coming up out there. It rained a lot yesterday, but enough of the weather report. Okay. So let's go on with this Dawn Busters. Okay. We have Heaven Hill, mild and mellow Kentucky blended whiskey. Very common in Louisiana, southeastern Louisiana, I should say, the New Orleans area, I should say. Versus Kentucky Gold. Kentucky Gold, Kentucky blended whiskey. They're both from Kentucky, both distilled in Kentucky, as evidenced by the word Kentucky. And it's blended and bottled in Kentucky by quality control distillers, Bardstown, Nelson County, Kentucky, 40004. A distinctive blend, aged 36 months. So there's your crest for quality control distillers. Now you might say, I never heard of quality control distillers. Well, that's because they are Heaven Hill. That's who quality control distillers are. Yes, I'm finishing the Great Value coffee. Medium blend. Have I tried some value price coffees that were bad? Yes, I have. I did not repurchase them. Great Value seems to work. To me, it really is a great value. Let me calculate something real fast, just for the fact that I'm going to forget to do it. Okay. Okay. The Heaven Hill Kentucky blended whiskey, mild and mellow, is also aged 3 years. They use sour mash whiskey. This one does not make that claim, so I assume that it does not. This one has like a rumpled finish. It's odd. I don't know what they're trying to achieve with that. It's an interesting texture. This one has, it's just glued on there, but you can feel the lettering. You know, the K, it's elevated a bit. They're both blended at an 80-20 ratio. Okay, age 3 years, and from Kentucky. This one says blended and bottled by Heaven Hill Distilleries Incorporated, Bardstown, Nelson County, Kentucky. You know, it's the same thing. All right. Now, is it the same whiskey in 2 different bottles? I would say that that is a possibility, but I cannot say that it is a certainty by any means because I have no evidence to that effect. All I know, I was watching a video and it was, I think, whiskey.com over there in Germany, and they went on a road trip well, I guess an airplane trip and then a road trip to Heaven Hill Distilleries, and the man was taking them on a tour all around their facility. It's about an hour-long video. And he said they aged the whiskeys in all the barrels, you know, as you would expect. And he was talking about how sometimes they don't come out quite right, whatever. And the man said, well, what do you do with those? And he said, we use them in our blended whiskeys. And he laughed, ha, ha, ha. And that was all they said about the blended whiskeys, because they were focusing on bourbon, which you would imagine you can expect that, because that's where their big money is, in Elijah Craig and Heaven Hill straight bourbon whiskey. Their Mellow Corn also is a good popular one. So, and of course, Evan Williams, probably the biggest product they have. Lex Gregg as well. Sounds like a lot. Chicken Little. Yeah, the sky is falling. Okay. KG. I don't think this will be easy to differentiate. I don't think either one is going to be standout. I don't know when the Heaven Hill hit the market. Sometime since 1934. I know the Kentucky Gold hit the market in 1992. Okay. So well, they're both amber gold. They look similar. You know, typical alcoholics. It's you can't expect a whole lot for $6.19 bottles of blended Kentucky blended whiskey, okay? Because for the standard bottle, glass bottle, that's what you're going to pay around here, about $6.19 up to $7. But I noticed that at Racetrack they have it for $6.19. And that's been the going price for a while. But then on the other hand, I don't know, I doubt anyone buys these products with a great expectation. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think anyone's buying these saying, wow, I paid $6.19 plus tax. I'm expecting a whole lot. They're probably not expecting anything except 80 proof and to mix it with something and drink it. Now, their only expectation is probably that it won't be bad. You know, it won't taste foul or off or something like that. All right, so, but I'm sure they're not expecting some kind of bountiful flavors and just wonderful character and all that, because you don't pay. Like, I noticed they got these cheap, they got Crystal Palace gin, which is about $5.99. Some places $4.99 a bottle. No one buys that expecting a whole lot. But it sells like mad here. I would think that it's probably one of the top selling gins in southeastern Louisiana. So you might say, well, then people just like cheap liquor down there. Yes, I believe that's probably true. Then you see these cheap vodkas, Dobra, D-O-B-R-A, Dobra. That's another one that's about that same price. Dobra, and what's the other one I see all the time? Oh, I see it everywhere. Skol, S-K-O-L, Skol vodka, Skol. And of course, Crown Rousse and Taka. And I find that the Skol and the Dobra is even cheaper than the Crown Rousse and the Taka. And the Crown Rousse and Taka are not expensive. Okay, anyway, on with this. But I'm not a vodka person, so somebody else has got to do those challenges with Skol and Dobra. Although these two things that I'm trying today aren't that far removed from vodka, honestly. Except they contain 20% straight Kentucky whiskey. That one smells standard, just standard. Got to think about that a little bit. This one's standard too, but this one here to my right, maybe your left, this one has the sourdough. Now I got mixed up yesterday with that McCormick. Well, you know that McCormick kept tripping me up. Oh, it just did not differentiate itself from the rest. Wasn't bad. That's what I mean. It didn't differ. It wasn't better or worse. It was just in the mix. Meaning, if I was going to buy it, I'd shop price and I'd probably buy it because it's $5.99 a bottle at Super Discount Store. You could go in there and buy a whole bunch of bottles if you wanted to stock up on it. But why would I do that when I could just buy a huge 1.75 milliliter, maybe for $12.99 somewhere? You know, so. And I noticed Carstairs is sold in this parish. Somebody told me that. I thought maybe he's got it confused with something else. So I went over there on US Highway 61. Nope, it's there. Sure enough, two different bottle sizes. I think 375 and 200, if I'm not mistaken. I said, look at this, Carstairs. Huh, you never know. The man who cares buys Carstairs. Well, the man who cares probably really doesn't buy Carstairs, but sounds nice. All right. So this one smells a little more pungent, a little more, if you want to say, elaborate or developed. No. So I think on aroma only, I think the one on my right hand, but it's reversed for you, I guess. But I think that is the Heaven Hill, as opposed to the Kentucky Gold. Well, let's see. Now, the Kentucky Gold, I've only seen it once in my whole life, and that was in Baton Rouge on Louisiana Highway 30 at that little quick stop place on the southbound side of the road, or eastbound side, I guess you call it, because the road kind of curves along the river, the highway. But right north of the North Gates, you know, right north of the North Gates for Louisiana State University. Okay. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about because you probably go in there on pregame football game days and buy stuff. That place does a lot of business with the campus location. Well, very standard, nothing bad, just the filler, you know, the corn distillate, grain neutral spirits filler, a little whiskey, and a touch, I think, of blending sherry, the sherry note. If you want to experience what I'm talking about, I would say go buy some Fairbanks dry sherry. And if you taste that, or I believe Taylor makes dry sherry, or they make golden sherry, I think it's called, you'll see, oh, I see what he means with that. Also very standard. Does this stand out in any way? No, it does not. But maybe, and this is a big maybe, maybe it has the slightest bit more character, but that is not necessarily the case. Last sip here. I had a feeling this was going to be like this, and it's turned out to be the case. Okay, la-di-da. Yeah. I think this is the Heaven Hill because it seems to have a little more of the sourdough. And I think this is the Kentucky Gold because it seems to have a little more sherry. Maybe the Kentucky Gold is using whiskeys that came out even worse. You know what I mean? Like they didn't do so well. And these could be things like Elijah Craig or Heaven or Heaven Hill Bourbon or Evan Williams that just for some reason didn't come out right. And so they just said, send it to the blender, the blending room. But maybe this one was a little worse off. So they added more sherry up to the 2% to even it out and make it less. I don't know. But that's what apparently they do. Now, let's see. So is this the Kentucky Gold? Which one's better? I guess the one on the right is a little bit better, but it's such a minimal difference that I wouldn't pay much mind to it. Oh, well, this is Heaven Hill and that's Kentucky Gold, so I got it reversed. No shock that I got them mixed up because they don't differentiate themselves. You say, boy, you've been getting these blended whiskeys wrong. Yes, because they're so similar. Could it be that I just don't know how to taste these things very well? Could be. I think it's more likely that they're just so similar that they're easily confused. I don't think there's a whole lot of difference. So, oh well, no loss because it wasn't expected to be anything too fabulous. I would like to know if you get Kentucky Gold in your area. You might be a prominent product where you live. I know there's a straight bourbon, which I'd like to try, just for the sake of trying it. I'm not really a bourbon person. All right, so onward to, let's say, I think it would be a good idea to go up against Seagram's 7 Crown, which I don't think that'll be much of a contest. It seems like the Seagram 7 Crown really does wear the crown of blended whiskey. And I have a feeling it's going to blow it up. It's been blowing everybody else out the way, so more or less. So I think the Seagram 7 Crown is going to embarrass Kentucky Gold, which it should, since it costs twice as much. So I don't look for that to be much of a contest. And then we'll look at Beam's 8 Star. I think Beam's 8 Star can edge it out because it has some little qualities that are nice, but it won't beat it by much. Beam's 8 Star is pretty ho-hum, but it's okay, you know. It's come from Jim Beam Suntory. Maxwell says, good morning, Ron. Well, good morning to you, Maxwell. And then after we finish with the Beam's 8 Star, then let's go through the Sazerac brands. Now I have to get off here because of the news. So we'll look at Sazerac's Ancient Age Preferred, the Barton Premium, and so on. So, oh well. Thanks for watching this taste challenge, and I'm going to upload some videos coming up very shortly. Thank you, people, and maybe maybe now scheduling could interrupt that, but maybe in a couple of days we'll look at some more taste challenges.